guys, how's it going? Thanks for coming back to another video. Today I want to give you some ledge fundamentals that I think can help you not only continue to learn new ledge tricks, but change the way you think about ledge tricks, change the way that you attempt to build up your confidence towards these tricks. There's some things I've learned along the way in my 20 plus years of skating that have helped me approach ledge tricks in a different way that seems to lower the fear and increase my confidence a little bit. So today we're going to start with the very basics, the fundamentals of skating a ledge. And from there we're going to work our way up and see how we can advance using these simple techniques and hopefully not only lead to you learning new tricks, but increasing your confidence and allowing you to keep that progression train going. Let's do this. You know, let's say you're someone who's a little bit older than your average skater, like myself. I'm in my 30s now, and I'm not quite the limber, spry guy that I used to be. So before anything, whether you're old or young, gotta start out with some warm-ups. You don't wanna just immediately jump in, start hucking yourself when your body's not woken up. That can lead to some premature falls that shouldn't happen. And not only that, but falls that your body's not warmed up for, you're not ready to react in the right way. You can end up getting really hurt on something very simple. So I always recommend warm up. Now everyone's warm-up looks different. Mine is obviously doing the flip tricks I'm comfortable with, trying to skate in all the stances. I think there's maybe one nollie trick in there, but still, I'm trying to find my center of gravity, find the pop point, kind of determine how much pressure I'm needing to put on the nose and tail to get the tricks in the air. When you're feeling comfortable, when you feel like you have control of your ollies, that's when it's time to move to the ledge. All right, so we're gonna say you're warmed up, you're feeling decent now, you're ready to start attacking the ledge. One of the scariest things for a lot of people is the initial ollie up. A lot of people, you'll see them do this number, sort of get on like that, because they're afraid to commit with that back truck. And you'll see some people, they like to attack with that front truck first. I used to be really bad about doing 50-50s like that. My back 50s still have a tendency to touch front truck first, and that's okay for the sake of learning, but if you want to really progress the trick, you got to get that out of here. The first things I recommend before you start rolling at it, make sure that you're comfortable just getting up there. If I had more room, I'd simply just ollie up onto it, but I'm sort of lacking space here, so we're going to make do. So starting stationary with the ledge, first of all, let's just do a simple ollie without trying to move forward. You can see my board was about ledge height. Yes. So now in my mind, I know that if I jump and aim my feet for the ledge, one way or another, either I'm gonna end up on there or I'm gonna end up on there with the board. What are you gonna do at that point? Have you felt out what it's like to get up there? Do you know what you're gonna do to get out? No, probably not. So that's one thing I've noticed with a lot of people. They work on getting up there, and then once they're up there, what's gonna happen? You see a lot of them kind of do this number, or they'll try to come out like this. You don't wanna do that. You want a simple little shifty motion. Simple little shifty. All I'm doing to initiate that is lifting up my front trucks, and then my back foot is scooping. I'm simply taking weight off my back truck so that I can slide it out. If I do it without lifting, that happens. You have to initiate a little hop to get that weight off your trucks. That's what's going to allow you to fully come out. One thing you might want to do to start building up that comfort, simply setting the board up like that, jump on. This is simply to build up that muscle memory. So when you do finally commit and get it up there, you're not going to be scared. Okay, let's move it back a little and try to get a little speed with it. We're going to try to grind a foot or two. Okay, we grinded, we're not freaked out. Not bad. There we go. All right, I think now we're ready to ollie into it. At this point, we're comfortable being up in the 50-50. Now, when you're in the 50-50, you don't want to have your weight too far on your toes, or there's a very good chance you will simply roll up onto the deck. Where I have my weight is pretty much the center of the board. I'm sort of pushing with the ball of my foot, the arch of my foot. I'm basically pushing that straight down, and that keeps me locked in. We're gonna be thinking about that as we ollie into it. Now initially, you're either gonna wanna be stationary or with very little speed towards the ledge. You're up there. You can see I had quite a bit of weight on my back foot, so when I got up there, it teetered. There we go. It's a very common thing to happen. But the nice thing is, if you land in a front wheelie, you're gonna be fine. Worst case scenario, the board goes down like that. Nothing's happening here. At that point, you're stepping off. You're chilling. Okay, we got in. Maybe do that a couple times with very little speed. At this point, we can start to carry a little bit of speed into it. I'm uphill, so I have to go with a little more than I'd like. Nice thing too about me having a box like this that's so short, I don't have to worry about coming out in the middle. If my weight is comfortable and my shoulders are up over my board, I can very simply ride off the end of the ledge. 9 times out of 10, I would recommend that as opposed to trying to get off halfway. It's gonna be much easier, much more logical to just come off the end. If at this point in your skateboarding you've rode off a ledge, literally the same exact thing. Don't overcomplicate it. Right there we got into a feeble, and that's okay. That simply means I didn't connect this front truck. After my back truck, wheel ended up on top. Then as we rode, physics wanted to pull it that way. Because I had more weight on the back truck. That's what happens. When you do get that front truck locked in, you're gonna have your weight roughly a little bit ahead of the center of your board. I have a nice line in the middle of my board, so I know just about where to lean mentally. That's what I'm thinking about. And just a little ahead of the center of the board to carry it through. All right, so you got your 50-50s down. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you're still a little apprehensive, a little scared to try the 50-50. You've seen some of your friends try it, fall back, hit their butts, land with their backs on the coping. There are things that can happen. There's always a little bit of risk, even when you're approaching stuff in the safest way you know how. That's one thing that I think a lot of tutorials don't really explain, is how to overcome the fear. What you can do to get over whatever mental block is keeping you from even attempting it. And honestly, that comes down to you. However your mind works, whatever your barrier to entry is for attempting these tricks, you have to figure that out for yourself. And from there, you know what you need to do. Maybe you're not ready to come off the ledge onto concrete. Well, if you have a box like I do, if I wanted to, I could move this over into the gravel. I could pull it into the yard. If my fear was rolling away, that would be how I would approach the trick. It depends on what your fear is, what your mental block is. If you're not sure what's scaring you about a trick, you might need to take a second, sit down, meditate on it. Maybe watch some of your footage, film yourself trying it. Watch it back, try to see what's going on in your head. If you have no idea, if you're not capable of that sort of introspection, then maybe you just need to keep trying it. If you're someone like me that loves to overthink things, overcomplicate it, turn it into some math problem that I can't solve, then yes, please film yourself, go back, watch it. Watch where your shoulders are, your feet, your hips. Are you twisting all funny? Are your arms doing crazy things? You need to go back through, figure out what's going on so you can correct it. Let's say you're not quite ready to take home that 50-50 yet. Well, here's two other tricks that I think you can do before the 50-50 that are gonna work to increase your confidence and make the 50-50 even easier. Backside board slide. Second one, frontside board slide. These tricks can seem really counterintuitive on a ledge, and I'd be lying if I didn't say they were a little bit. To get up there, if you were to simply ollie on the ledge like this, getting out is gonna be really hard. Super duper hard. Very awkward. 50-50 makes sense. You're up there, you come off. Totally logical. My board can do it without me. Board slide, on the other hand, not quite the same. When you're first attempting board slides on a ledge, I recommend coming at it pretty much perpendicular and just get up there. Get up there and try to hold it for a second before you hop off. When you're comfortable doing it straight on, start going at a little bit of an angle, maybe a 45-degree angle. Ooh, you see, you moved a little bit. You moved, you didn't die. Do that a couple times. We moved again. When you think you're ready to bring it home and start landing, you're gonna come at even shallower of an angle. You're gonna try to hit that last 1.5 feet of the ledge. Would you look at that? You did it. Now, some of the things that are happening when I'm up there, I start initially with my weight back a little bit. By having my weight back, I'm able to counteract the friction of my wheels on top of the deck. From there, when I get closer to the end, I'm transferring my weight to the tail, pushing down while scooting this foot in front of me. Not that dissimilar from doing it on a rail if you've done that, but there needs to be that little lifting motion as you're pushing that foot down to make sure that the front of the board clears the end of the ledge. It's gonna help you the most for this is going to be to run and jump on. It can be a little scary at first, but if you just put it right here at the end, in your mind, you know you got about a foot to slide, you can do that. When you're comfortable getting out of it, and you know you can get into it, the only thing stopping you is yourself. One of the easiest ways to do that trick is to really carry a good bit of movement into it like that, pushing directly into the ledge. That's gonna guarantee that your wheels don't touch and catch, and it's gonna keep you moving this way, trying to get out, so you know your front truck is gonna clear the end of the ledge. Otherwise, a common failure point would be coming out too soon, catching here, primo. If you find yourself catching and flipping over, it's because you're likely not allowing the front truck to clear the ledge. You can do that by pushing into it and pushing down on this back foot to make sure that truck stays up, making the ledge feel a lot more like a flat bar. Front side board slides are one and the same with backside board slides. It's gonna be very similar. If you're a little spooked, you can start by coming at it pretty much perpendicular. Get up there, jump off. You want that motion to feel natural, not be scary. Would you look at that? The board just tends to come out. When that's comfortable, start trying to tap one on the end. Oh, wow. You're up there, nothing happened. Amazing. I personally find the front side variation much easier than backside. Would you look at that? You can approach this one the same way you did with the backside board side, taking the same steps. But I find this one way more satisfying. The only thing different about this one is coming out can be a little bit more tricky. I sort of have my upper body twisted like this. From here, I'm gonna transfer that movement down to my hips. When I rotate this way, it's gonna make my board wanna spin the opposite way. So if you wanna practice that, you can get up in it like this. I'm starting like this, facing forward. And when I unwind, I'm pushing my legs this way. I'm building up tension in my hips, turning this way, I can even feel it. And that's gonna allow you to spin out of it. Without that upper body twist, it's gonna be a lot harder to get out of it. So you gotta stay twisted. It's really not hard. Harder to roll away stationary, but once you can figure that movement out and get all four wheels on the ground, it's gonna be that much easier. Let's throw some. I really hope that this video could be of some value to you guys today, especially if you are a beginner working on taking home some of your first ledge tricks. I really hope that this can give you a path to take to build up your confidence so you can start landing these. And from there, just continue to progress, continue to have fun, continue to love the sport that brings us all together. Here's your verse for the day.
Hebrews 2:14. Since the children have flesh and blood, he too shared in their humanity, so that by his death he might break the power of him who holds the power of death, that is, the devil, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by their fear of death. For surely it is not angels he helps, but Abraham's descendants. For this reason he had to be made like them, fully human in every way, in order that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in service to God, and that he might make atonement for the sins of the people. Because he himself suffered when he was tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted.
Peace out, God bless. See you next time.